Daniel Gibson, 7 for 9 with 31 points. 31 points in 29 minutes. LeBron, 3 for 11 with 20 points. Hella rebounds though. Gotta give him credit. 14 boards is nothing to sneeze at. And 8 assists. Great all-around game, but let's be honest, on the shooting side of the ball, he was absolute dog shit. And if you actually have no help, going 3 for 11 should be a death sentence. But instead, you had a 16-point win. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. So today, LeBron is on his clap back ting with Stephen A. He's trying to set the record straight, and most importantly, something that he is very good at doing is controlling the narrative. Now, he's going to flat out lie. This is a common narrative that he's been able to help push along with his cronies, his media cronies like Brian Windhorst and etc. and lie. Now, I'm going to be fair. A lot of people think I'm a LeBron hater. I'm not. I'm just someone that likes to put things into proper context and perspective. I am not here trying to say he had an all-star cast or anything close. What I'm here is to give those players that contributed in big spots when he needed them to, and they did. They're getting no credit. They're acting like they had no big games, that they were all chipping in between 7 and 12 points a game, and LeBron is having 45 and barely eking it out against elite teams. That was not the case. So we're gonna watch this clip, and I'm going to set the record straight.
7 years in Cleveland, I had some good years. Obviously, some great years. One, was able to take the team to the NBA Finals. I was 22 years old. I had a moment in Detroit where I went insane, 25 straight, 29 out of 30, and took a team that you look back at our roster, you're like, what the hell? How was that even possible?
There's a lot of those, brother. We don't want to dive into all of them. You were at the finals like 45 straight years.
You know what I'm saying? My 7
All right, so now that game he had against Detroit, that was epic. There is no denying that. He played his ass off basically that whole playoff series, with the exception of San Antonio, who basically made him their bitch. But it was to be expected. No one thought anything was going to happen, but getting swept is kind of, whatever. It is what it is. Now I'm going to go through each series. Now, the first series was against the 41-41 Washington Wizards. They were the 7th seed. Now, if you notice something here, remember, LeBron has no help, right? Who led the game? Not their team, the game in points in game 1. Antawn Jamison. Who led the game in rebounds? Antawn Jamison. Who led game 2 in points? Antawn Jamison. Who led in rebounds? Drew Gooden. Who led game 3 in points? No way. You're shitting me. Antawn Jamison again. Who led the game in rebounds? Drew Gooden. Tied 2-2. Let's see who are the two people tied with 31 points in that game. Let's see. LeBron James and Antawn Jamison. So Antawn Jamison didn't have a single person in all 4 games put up more points than him, and he got swept. But I'm supposed to believe LeBron James was the one with no help. Oh, let's see it. Oh, Zydrunas Ilgauskas had 19 boards. So LeBron, maybe he led in assists a couple games, but he didn't lead in one thing clearly. He was not the best in either the points or rebounding category one time in 4 games against a 7 seed. So he obviously had help there. Now let's go to the 42-42 New Jersey Nets. Now, Vince Carter was my favorite player growing up, and he played like absolute dog shit this series. Vince Carter was like a god to me when I was younger. he played like dog shit this series. I can admit that. Okay. So let's look at the no help Nets, right? I mean, no help Cavs, right? This is game 1. Game 1, Cleveland wins by 4. Let's see what his supporting cast did. 17, 14, 15. That's a pretty good showing by your supporting cast. I think so. I think so. Right? Game 2. They win by 10. Let's see his supporting cast again. The whole team double figures. That's pretty good. I would consider that help. Now LeBron is leading the way. Obviously that's what he's supposed to do, and undeniably he's an all-time great player, and at this point he has found his zone. So like I said, this is not here to trash him. This is just to give his teammates proper credit. They're being left in the dust, being made fun of like they contributed nothing and just LeBron did everything. Now this is game 4. They win by 2. Close game. Let's see. LeBron has 30. Great game. Larry Hughes has 19. That's a pretty good contribution. Zydrunas, nice double-double, 13 and 11. Drew Gooden, another 10 boards. Okay, they led the rebounding that game, which I would say in a 2-point game might have made the difference. Okay, that was game 4. And then the deciding game 6. You have Daniel Marshall, 6 for 11 with 6 threes, 18 points off the bench. 18 points in 18 minutes. How are you going to tell me there was no help there? That doesn't even make sense. Now let's go to, obviously, the Pistons. This was like, even though they didn't have Ben Wallace, people don't want to mention that. People don't want to mention that. Ben Wallace was no longer the team. He was on, was it Boston or Chicago? I forget, but he was not on this team. But anyway, give credit where credit's due. Cleveland pulled it out, right? Let's look at 2 key games. This right here, if they lose, they go down 3-1. Right? Yeah, they go down 3-1 if they lose this game. They win by 4. Let's look at LeBron James supporting cast. Drew Gooden, 19 and 8, and Daniel Gibson with 21. So these two by themselves combined for 40 points. LeBron had 25. They made the difference. And then lastly, in the deciding game 6, now it was a blowout. They whooped ass. But let's look at this. Daniel Gibson, 7 for 9 with 31 points. 31 points in 29 minutes. LeBron, 3 for 11 with 20 points. Hella rebounds though. Gotta give him credit. 14 boards is nothing to sneeze at. And 8 assists. Great all-around game, but let's be honest, on the shooting side of the ball, he was absolute dog shit. And if you actually have no help, going 3 for 11 should be a death sentence. But instead, you had a 16-point win. This guy showed up big time. He's had big performances all throughout that playoff series. And like I said, honestly, the biggest example was the first series against Washington. Bro, he didn't lead one time in points. That shows that he's the one that actually had all the help and not Antawn Jamison. Antawn Jamison was the one that needed more help. Look at that. They lost by 15 the first game, lost by 7 the next game, lost by 6 and then 7. Literally, not one game was really in reach. There was no real opportunity. It wasn't like a 1 or 2 or 3 point game where it was down to the last shot. They basically lost flat out all 4 games, even though their star led the game in scoring each time. No one wants to talk about how he had no help. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm not here to act like LeBron had an all-star cast. I'm not sitting here acting like he had a bunch of great players. What I'm just saying is that he did have help. You do not get to the finals, even in that shitty Eastern Conference, by yourself. A guy doesn't score 31 points in 29 minutes by mistake. You have to have some sort of skill, okay? But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what yours are in the comments below. I'm out.